Hey, were you in my class in high school? Eric, she seemed like she might have been in my class, and I ran into her when I got to the hotel. Eric, hold on a moment. Are you merely a recent high school graduate? Even so, could you help your wife with that? Are you certain you're out? She mocked me as a potential customer and appeared unaware of my current predicament. Since I was pressed for time, all I really wanted was for her to carry out her duties. The upper class frequents this hotel, which is a prestigious, affluent establishment. It isn't really where recent high school graduates like you belong. Grad or not, it makes no difference. This hotel is where we have business. Furthermore, you are not in charge of selecting your guests. Yes, it is. We do turn away low-class high school graduates. It may be an investment of a lifetime for you. Is that the manager's policy? My wife finally spoke up after being silent up until that point. I had been laughed at, but she appeared much more indignant. Yes, it's the manager's policy to refuse service to anyone less than a high school graduate. She smiled as she spoke, little realizing that this would be the beginning of the end for her. Please call the manager to the owner's suite right now. She became pale at that point. Eric is who I am. I married Katie a few years ago, and we find ourselves in a bit of a bind at the moment. Just the two of us are lost. We traveled to this area for work, but since it was our first visit, we wound up getting lost. This is troubling. You don't seem overly concerned, but we are in a tight spot. We won't arrive on time if we continue like this. It was our intention to go there immediately upon departing the station. Our destination is a well-known, venerable, upmarket hotel in the neighborhood. We won't arrive at our appointment in time at this rate. It's strange, as my wife stated. Why are we unable to locate it? My spouse is feverishly looking up locations on her phone and scanning through the map. There don't seem to be any taxis here, despite my own search. Maybe I could use an app to hail a cab, if I could locate a landmark. As soon as I realized it, I pulled out my phone. I understand now. The map was inverted. My wife said, we were going in the wrong direction. All right. We can never get there if we choose the incorrect route. Whoa, were we both viewing the map inverted? Were we never this poor at following instructions? I've got no excuse. We assumed we could find it simply because we had been told it was only a 10-minute walk from a big station. We appear to be less adept at directions than we initially believed. We grinned wryly at each other. Let's head back to the station. Yeah, we'd better take a taxi this time so we don't get lost again. Sounds good. We walked back after grinning miserably. Eric, let's play. Katie, what do you want to do? Beside our current residence, Katie and I were childhood pals. Morning, Eric. Good morning, Katie. Do you want to stop at the variety store on the way back from school? Let's head there. Yes, this month is also your birthday. I might get you something. That's sweet, but I was planning to get you a birthday present too. Then let's both buy gifts. Yay. It's accurate, you too. Detours are okay, but please exercise caution. Sure thing. Got it. We even had the same birth month and were the same age. We played together, went shopping together, and attended school together. Since the day we were born, our grandparents and parents have been close friends as well. Katie, welcome back. I'm home. Eric. Mom, I'm back. Both of you had some snacks at home today, okay. We went to each other's places on a regular basis. Dave, let's play. Yes. How ought we to proceed? Tag? Come on, let me play too. As if they were our own parents, we would play with each other's dads and eat snacks made by each other's mothers. Happy New Year, Ronald. Marie. Indeed. Cheers to a good New Year. Eric, here's a gift for you two this New Year. Congrats. Together, let's head to the church service for the new year. Sure, let's do that. Yay, that sounds good. Obviously, our grandparents were included in this. We addressed the members of each other's families by their first names. Katie, you're really absent-minded. Eric, you're pretty laid back too. Yes, you're correct. Let's have these together later. I located Katie's favorite candies at the convenience store and bought them. Are you serious? What time did you leave? Do you recall that on the way, I stopped at the convenience store? Oh, that time I got a drink from a vending machine that I thought you might enjoy. Then let's have it with the sweets. We considered one another to be our closest, most compassionate friends, and I couldn't fathom my existence without Katie. There's a chemistry between Eric and Katie. Do you agree with that? I'm not certain. I'm not sure, honestly. You're correct. You two seem like a great match, though maybe that's just because you're together all the time. I can't possibly imagine the two of you apart. People often remarked that we had the same aura despite our similar upbringings. We'd always been naturally close, even as young children. Living in separate homes was akin to having an extended family. I could only see her standing next to me for that reason. Hey Katie, how are you? Though it may come as a surprise, I can only envision myself with you. Will you accompany me out then? Are you serious? Naturally, I will. I'm happy that few. Though I was still anxious, I assumed you would. It's true that you sounded uneasy, which is unusual for you. Therefore, I suppose it was only logical for us to consider getting married when the time was perfect. Yes, Katie, I want to spend my entire life with you. Will you then marry me? Hey, you're trembling in your voice again. Naturally, I will. It's true that I felt anxious during the proposal and confession, but that's just the way it's always been. Katie and I hadn't been together since we were infants. I owe Katie a great deal for continuing to be a strong supporter of my work even now. After that, we got a taxi back to the station. The cab driver laughed heartily when I hurriedly explained our position. We eventually reached the classic luxury hotel, which was our target. Oh, Eric, that's not good. There are just 10 minutes remaining. Yikes, let's hurry to the check-in. Yes, let's do that. We dashed to the front desk. My name is Eric. I apologize for being so impromptu. Can you help us out quickly? Eric? Are you the Eric that I knew in high school? Her voice caught my attention as I looked up. This is Marissa. We attended the same secondary school. She was a classmate, it seems. Her name tag and clothing suggested that she was employed by the hotel. Ah, Marissa. Yes, I seem to recall you from our time in school. Long time not seen. Is this Katie then? Do the two of you still get along? Do you consider yourself married or something? That is astonishing, really. She seems to be aware of Katie as well. That would make sense if she had been a fellow student in high school. But everyone in the foyer turned to watch Marissa laugh uncontrollably. We both scowled, uncomfortable beyond belief. It's not appropriate to laugh so hard over it. Please just do your job. Come on, a little laugh is fine. It's not acceptable. Here, we seem to be in a rush. She didn't appear eager to continue with the check-in. Marissa gave her eyes a playful narrowing. Erica, are you really only a recent high school graduate? Are you truly able to stand by your wife in that? Are you certain you're all right? Hey, that's rude. It's fine, Kitty. Katie tried to oppose Marissa's mocking tone, but I stopped her. It's impossible to dispute, is it? What are recent high school graduates? Janitors at best. Oh. Maybe building laborers, perhaps. Either way, nasty and dirty, Marissa yelled as she carried on her tirade. The upper class frequents this hotel, which is a prestigious and luxurious establishment. It isn't really where recent high school graduates like you belong. Gior or not, It makes no difference. This hotel is where we have business. Furthermore, you are not in charge of selecting your guests. Yes, it is. We do turn away low-class high school graduates. It may be an investment of a lifetime for you. Marissa continued to sneer and try to push us away, ignoring anything I said. Is that the manager's policy? Katie, who had asked not to speak, finally piped up at that time. Yes, the management has the policy of not serving anyone who is not a high school graduate. Marissa mockingly answered her cool-headed question. Please go. I was familiar with Katie. I watched her activity silently. Marissa continued to smirk. Well, if you grovel and agree to do as I say from now on, maybe I won't turn you away. Hey, why are you laughing now? Are you crazy now? Oh no, Katie started laughing, so I automatically put my palm to my forehead. Marissa gave us a perplexed expression. Haha, really? You say the funniest things. When Katie is upset, she frequently bursts out laughing. What are you trying to say? It is verifiable. Reality. All right, I'll make sure you know what you did. Marissa blurted out in fear as Katie abruptly stopped laughing and became serious. Next, Katie spoke a chilly "Oh, hello. It's Katie here." Disregarding Marissa's runaway, Katie pulled out her phone and dialed someone. Kindly request that the management visit the owner's suite immediately. I will also quickly be there. Domestic. Supervisor. The suite of the owner. Marissa cast a bewildered glance at Katie. I suppose I should introduce myself sooner. This hotel is owned by me, Katie. It's good to meet you. Katie gave Marissa a lovely smile. In actuality, Katie's family is wealthy and possesses a large number of real estate properties. Katie remained involved in her family's business even after we were married. In due course, Katie acquired multiple hotel properties. Eric, the hotel we're going to is this one, right? Yes, that's right. Excellent, excellent. This is the other motel that my father recently gave me the keys to as its owner. This is an ideal time to do an inspection. My work initially required us to visit, but we also intended to perform a surprise inspection. The owner's suite was then shown to us. I'm terribly sorry for what happened. Several suit-clad men and Marissa were apologizing in the owner's suite. I've heard of Marissa's impolite actions. I apologize sincerely. Ted, the manager, was one of them. Ted, is it true that your policy is to refuse guests who are high school graduates or less? Achieved it. How precisely were you going to verify that? Katie asked Ted a pointed question. What? That is not possible. Who made such a statement? That is absolutely not my objective. Ted ran away, obviously shocked. Standing next to him, Marissa cast a pallid glance down. Are you letting the front desk staff decide who gets to stay? No, that's absolutely not the case. But that's exactly what she said. You are aware that our guests interact with us at the front desk. First, don't you? Obviously, I get it. However, you don't seem to get that the hotel will look bad if this is how her staff acts. It is your duty as manager to select and develop employees who won't make our visitors uncomfortable. What are your thoughts about that? As a hotel staff member, I apologize. With a pallid face, Ted was the focus of Katie's lesson. Ted seems to be stuck with his constant apology routine. That's enough, Katie. I chided myself in the end after attempting to calm her down. Stay out of this. Ted seemed to notice me at last when I made an interjection. He gave me a surprised look when he saw me. Oh, you are? Aren't you Mr. Wilson? He came running over to me. Marissa looked up at this, as she had been looking down. The press conference is about to start. That reminder reminded us of the purpose of our visit to this hotel. A shoot. With a quick peek at my watch, I whispered, shoot. I was engrossed in Katie's rage to the point where I forgot I was meant to be at this hotel for a press conference. I play chess professionally. After turning pro in high school, I've been winning since, and now I was going to go up against the title of master. We had the press conference. Today. Tomorrow is when the bouts begin. Oh no, I wonder what the press will write if Mr. Wilson is unable to attend the press conference due to the hotel situation. Ted and the others began to lose our minds. We have to move quickly and escort him to the venue immediately. Our conversation isn't over yet. Eric is escorted to the location by just one person. Shall the rest of you and I had a lovely, lengthy conversation. Katie smiled, alarmingly gorgeous, as she said this. Yes, you there, please show the way. Yes, ma'am. The selected staff member led me out of the owner's suite. With cheers in my heart, I made my way to the location, saying, "Hang in there, staff member." I eventually made it to the location. My tour guide came back, her eyes welling up with tears. I watched him leave and went into the arena where Master Smith, my opponent for this bout, was already giving me the cold shoulder. The master title belongs to Master Smith, a well-known player in the chess community. In addition, he serves as my mentor and my role model. I was excited to put him to the test once more. The scowling Master Smith instantly softened his demeanor. He laughed and remarked, "Eric, late again," to which I replied with a smile. My wife and I were gazing at the map upside down. He made a joke, "Ha, you two are as clueless as ever." I rubbed my head, embarrassed by my mentor's laughter. Master Smith had previously taught Katie chess as well, but Katie gave up, stating, "It's not fun, because I always lose to Eric." "Are you Eric?" "Yes, that's me. I know Pete rather well. Go ahead and give chess a shot." "Yeah, I'll give it a shot." Master Smith first became my tutor because of his previous relationship with Pete. You two still have a great relationship. What a wonderful mentor-mentee relationship, really. Isn't this match between a mentor and prodigy what has the chess world watching? It will be wonderful to see the collision of like ideas. It was widely known that Master Smith and I were mentor and protege. The press conference moved along at a leisurely pace. Thankfully, it concluded satisfactorily. Phew, glad that's over. You're still so laid back, aren't you? Is that so? Master Smith stated this as he observed me. He groaned and said, "But when it comes to the match, you transform into someone else." I'm not really sure how I comprehend it. Is Katie the same as well? I laughed and Master Smith said, seeming a little annoyed. In fact, Katie turns into a rigid entrepreneur and is typically more forgetful than I am. However, much like before, she has a strict side to her, especially when she's upset. I bet Katie is still lecturing someone at this very moment. She was so cool earlier, but also kind of terrifying. Your eyes become more focused and you show amazing concentration when playing chess. You play chess in an aggressive, relentlessly offensive manner. Well, I do often get that kind of feedback. That fluffy personality of yours comes up with moves that are unexpectedly tricky, honestly, making it difficult to play against you, said my mentor, Master Smith. But has he forgotten that I learned this particular chess strategy from none other than Master Smith? I basically learned my chess-playing technique from him. I'm excited about tomorrow, he remarked, holding out his hand. Yes, me too. I firmly shook his hand after taking it. We gave each other a firm handshake. A best-of-7 series, the Master Championship matches travel to hotels and inns across the country. Every match is 8 hours long, spread out across 2 days. Even though these are professional matches, the media, including the sponsoring newspapers, tend to ignore them. That's most likely the reason Marissa was unaware that I was a professional chess player. Master Smith, my mentor, has given me advice and recognition for having a solid sense of the game since I was little. Pete was correct. Eric, you've got good judgment. Would you like to follow me officially? Will that make me better? Yes, with your potential, you'll improve rapidly. I believe that. Pete had stated that Eric would undoubtedly emerge as John's choice. Through him, a relationship was established. Though it took me multiple tries to pass the professional tests, I made quick progress. I went to neighborhood public schools for middle and high school, and I was so focused on chess that I did poorly in both academics and athletics. I suppose I was a pretty inconspicuous student. I used to target you for bullying because you were so unimpressive back then. Erica, really? Because of how natural you are, it's possible that you were unaware of the bullying. Marissa was with me when Katie and I got back together. Hello, you pessimistic one. You're not even good at studying. You're dark. What does that have to do with? How come? You too. Eric isn't as willing to annoy you anymore. Looking back, I can say that there was a group that frequently upset me, but I didn't really notice it at the time because I was more focused on chess and Katie's support. It was most annoying that you ignored us. Marissa claims that I wasn't purposefully ignoring them. I was just not aware of them. Hey, I heard that despite being a senior, Eric hasn't made a decision about his future yet. Nearly everyone has already reserved a spot in college. Eric is simply unique, isn't he? My ambiguous career path felt out of place in high school, where the majority of students were concentrated on getting into college. Katie, listen, I finally passed a pro exam. Are you serious? That's fantastic. Eric, I know you've been working hard. Yes, and there's something else I want to tell you. In the meantime, during my final year of high school, I passed the pro exam. Although I went on to become a professional chess player, most of my classmates just knew that I dropped out of school. Given that I didn't actually inform anyone but Katie, it makes sense that they were unaware. It was also at that time that Katie and I formally began dating after my confession to her. I'm sorry. I wanted to apologize, but can we just stop this right now? I was about to play an important match. Kindly keep me out of this. I see. I'm telling you to get retrained, Marissa. Additionally, you will be suspended for a while. Be careful not to reveal your face to us. Understood. For the time being, it appeared as though Marissa had conceded, but in reality, nothing had happened. When the match's first day came to a close the following day, I was going to head back to my room. The next move should be, no, that would be counted then maybe, Eric. Marissa, who was meant to be suspended, was there when I ran into her on my route. I wanted to apologize so much. Could we go out to dinner later? I'm currently occupied. I casually replied, just leave me alone, my thoughts entirely focused on the game of chess. Master Smith is a powerful man. I have to concentrate on the game tomorrow. I had no idea that you were a competitive chess player. How important is the Master tournament? Eric, you're so awesome. I've always known that you're unique. You know, I've really liked you since we were little. I was harsh to you back then because of this. Hey, do you even think I'm speaking? Hi there. Marissa caught me thinking about chess and touched my arm. Would you please let go? Put an end to it. Katie stepped in. She moved in between Marissa and me, forcing her to release her grip on my arm. Oh, Marissa said, appearing briefly frightened by Katie's presence. She angrily snapped back, don't interfere. The one meddling is you. It's a crucial moment right now. You were meant to be on suspension, right? You weren't supposed to reveal your face, right? Are you able to comprehend that? That is unimportant. In addition, chess professionals make a lot of money, right? Are you not just after his money? Marissa's prodding appeared to have irritated Katie. Are you serious? Here, I am the proprietor. I work for my own money, Katie told Marissa in a clear-cut and forceful manner. Then give him up to me. What? Katie and I both silently conveyed our perplexity at her unintelligible remarks. Absolutely not. What even appeals to you about Eric? In what number? Numerous things. Could you enumerate them? All right. So that's, since we were young, I have been observing Eric. I'd adore every aspect of him, both positive and negative. I will always love him, regardless of whether he ends as big, bald, or impoverished in the future. Marissa seemed a little surprised by Katie's strong statement. My entire body began to warm up in the interim. Katie, though that is a little awkward, I'm still thrilled. At that moment, my face was probably beet red. Asterisk cough asterisk. It is impossible for me to consider dating anyone else because I have a significant other. All I could think of was Katie. Nobody else could possibly be on my side but her. For me, she is the only one. I will always love her and nothing else, no matter what happens in the future. Hey, you two. As I said this, I had Marissa's full attention. Stupid couple. Perfect for each other. You idiots. After saying these things, Marissa stormed off. All we could do when left alone was giggle together while our faces remained red. Shall we head to our room then? Oh yeah. Master Smith prevailed in the opening match of the master competition. It was rather annoying, to be honest, but it's not done yet. That concept caused me to change my perspective. Manager Ted came to say goodbye, saying, Mr. Wilson, I'm truly sorry for what happened at the chout. Again, he expressed his sincere regret. Marissa resigned from her job today. Oh, I'd only asked for her suspension, not for her to be fired. Ted said it was her own decision. That foolish couple. I will never prevail over Katie. All I want is for everything to go away. Let me resign, please, Marissa had pleaded. Listen, your management determines the employee's quality. Katie reminded Ted. As the manager, make sure you properly re-educate your staff. She smiled, a little intimidating. Yes, sir. I'll return soon to do another examination. After Katie said that, we started to head home. A very interesting trip. Thinking back on the trip, I never would have imagined getting into this much difficulty the day before the match. I laughed. To myself, it was very intense. But I also got to hear my wife speak words of love and witness. Her acting like a savvy company owner. The excursion was worthwhile. I now have to put forth my best effort and win the following match. 1 week later. Good job. Oh, I'm very grateful. I had managed to concentrate well enough to finish the master tournament. After the match with Master Smith, pay close attention. I believe I did a really good job. Tomorrow, our parents want to celebrate for you. Are you serious? I take it that there will be a sizable crowd once more. Yes, that's right. Our mothers reprimanded both of our parents for taking time off work to see the master tournament. Hey, I can see that. They must be anxiously awaiting our return at this point. Maybe. As we laughed, we both remembered our parents. How about we go on a trip after things settle down? Well, it makes sense. In fact, I had intended to return to that hotel to do an inspection. I'll adapt to your timetable the next time because it was for me the last time. I'm grateful. By the way, I was overjoyed by your loving remarks at the time. Well, give up. The things you said at the moment made me pleased as well. Again, we both flushed. We just can't get used to this, even after spending so much time together. How frightening the owner and her father both are is truly unsettling. Was Pete a terrifying person as well. Jess, I have been a guest at this hotel since the days of her father. Although quite rigid about business, he was also incredibly nice. At that moment, I noticed a hint of her father in her. Similar to Pete, That's how you also get during chess games. It's something I hear a lot. In any case, Pete is like a second father to me. Is that so? Eric, what are you talking about with Ted? Just discussing things about you and Pete. I see. It seems Marissa had a difficult time getting out of that hotel, by the way. The stories had gotten around, so she was unable to get work at other hotels. Furthermore, she made approaches to a number of guys who appeared to have steady jobs, but she was rejected each time and eventually fell for a shady man's scam, which left her in debt. She now has to balance a hectic life with duties she used to despise, like construction and cleaning. After some time, I learned of Marissa's predicament from a former classmate. She eventually asked for assistance from her former classmates before vanishing from view. Katie, please stay with me forever. Obviously, we will always be together, even when we grow old together. We shook hands and vowed to work together in the future. After a few years, 2 children were born into our family. Since he was a little child, our son has dedicated himself to his studies with the goal of replacing Katie. Our daughter, on the other hand, is a chess enthusiast who says she wants to learn the game and compete against me. And Master Smith is training her very fervently, too, with the hope that she will outdo me. Katie and I exchanged a smile as we watched them. You've given me a lot of support. I'm grateful, Katie. Really. Erica, I should be the one saying thanks. I was inspired to work hard after witnessing your hard effort. I'm so happy you're here. Me too. It's a tremendous pleasure to have you. I have loved you in the past. I love you now. And I always will. Me too. Mom and Dad are being lovey-dovey again. Red in the face, we were both mocked by our kids. I'm sure you two will meet someone you want to spend the rest of your lives with. Stay close. And lend each other support. All right. I wish to stay in close proximity to my beloved Katie. Naturally, in addition to our kids.